online broadcast network, AfterBuzz TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AfterBuzz TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
I get knocked out, but I get up again. You're never gonna keep me down. I get knocked out, but I get up again.
Doesn't the song just make you want to have a dance party always? It does for me, and that's kind of what happened on Scream Queens last night. Well, I'm Stephanie Wenger, and of course this is another episode of our AfterBuzz Scream Queens after show. It is, of course, season 1. You would think I would know that. Episode 6, and it's 7 Minutes in Hell. I want to introduce our panel.
Hello, everybody. I'm Paulina Aguilar. You can find me on Twitter at _Paulina Aguilar.
And I'm Lauren Salaun, joining in this week and hopefully in other weeks as well. And
Yes.
You can find me on Twitter at Lauren Salaun.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Of course, I'm super excited. Oh,
Yeah,
I love
this was
show.
a fun episode, too.
Lots of people dying.
I know, they said it was going to be the most, I think, like, the most deaths we've seen this.
in an
The
episode.
pilot. I
Yeah,
think.
since the pilot. And
Right.
it was 3 deaths tonight in the episode, and kind of crazy. Like, I just was, like, not expecting those deaths necessarily. Maybe I was the only one who wasn't expecting them, but I definitely wasn't. So let's start there. I want to talk about, well, maybe we'll wait on the deaths, actually, and talk about the co-president situation. I love that they started with the vote, and that they were all, like, dropping marbles. Yeah, like, what a dramatic way of showing a vote. I wanted there to be, like, I love that they tied, but I really did want there to be some other, like, I don't know, like a miscount or, like, yeah,
Some
like,
twist,
yeah,
some other kind of twist.
Exactly.
Well, there was a twist because Chanel didn't even vote for herself.
Right.
That's
well,
true.
Or did she just, was that just a trick to cover her, to save face?
That's what I was wondering. Do you think she was truly disappointed, or she was claiming she wasn't, that she didn't vote for herself and she didn't want to be president? But do you think somewhere deep down she was disappointed?
Well, in the closet with the other Chanel, she had explained that she had a plan to take Zayday out. And that's why she had voted for her. So I feel like she does have some kind of secret
Right. She
plan
was
up her
saying,
sleeve. She does. She is up to something.
That they're being targeted, and if I'm in the leadership role, like the killer's gonna want to take me out quicker. So
Right.
it's better if there's 2 of us because it brings the spotlight off me a little bit.
And then
which
they'll
is
kill
unlike
Zayday
her.
first.
Yeah.
I feel like they all kind of, it doesn't matter at this point. The Red Devil seems out after everyone.
Yes.
It's like, I don't think it matters if you're the top or the very bottom. It seems like they're going for everyone.
It does seem like the guys are getting
More.
the axe, literally more than the girls, though.
So does that make you think that it's someone in the sorority?
I feel like
You
it's
really-
a girl.
there's
Uh,
2.
well, we know there's a girl.
Yeah.
Gigi
involved.
is
Yeah.
obviously part of it.
Yes.
And then we see Nick Jonas is obviously part of it.
Right.
But I haven't seen them work together. I haven't seen them, like,
No,
come up
not
with
yet.
a plan.
So this plays into, I also do Pretty Little Liars here, and we always talk about there
gosh.
being, like, multiple
How many A's?
how many A's there could possibly be. And so I do wonder about, could there be, like,
More devils.
more devils? Is there a support team for the lead devils? It makes me go into Pretty Little Liars territory, which if you watch our show, you know there's so many theories about. And this show, I feel like you could do the same. You could start arguing.
Right.
And I do...
Everyone's the Red Devil.
I do have to say that I'm suspicious of Jamie Lee Curtis, the dean.
I tend to be too. I used to be really suspicious of Wes, Dad,
Yeah.
and I'm less now. I'm a little suspicious of Pete and whoever
really?
the bathtub baby was.
Yeah. See, I feel like I would agree with you. Wes had my, like, attention at one point, but because he's with Gigi, I feel like if he was a part of it, that would be a whole thing unto itself, and that's been pretty clear that he has
Right.
no idea what Gigi's up to.
Right. I don't know. I mean, I think Jamie Lee Curtis's character is obviously hiding something. She hid the death of the baby, but
Yeah, you don't know if it's for publicity's sake for the university, that
To save her job?
To save her job and to keep people coming back to the university and keep her students there. Like, is she trying to kind of keep a great public image, or is it because she's more involved? And that's one of those questions that I feel like we should toss out to our audience and say, tweet us, let us know what you're thinking. We want to hear from you. We love hearing about all of your theories for Scream Queens. And hey, if you have any Pretty Little Liars ones too, I'm happy to hear those as well.
Yeah, and we've got the chat up, and lots of people are sounding off with their
All right.
who they think it is. We've got some thinking it's Wes. A lot of people think it's the girls. Dean Munch too. I mean,
But can I just say that we've only seen the two devils one time together during that whole Backstreet Boys scene. So in the last episode, I know, right?
Oh my God.
When Gigi sees the devil, she says, "I want the other one gone," or something along those lines.
Yeah.
Was she talking about a sorority sister? Was she talking about a frat boy? Was she talking about the other devil? I still don't know who she was
The other
talking
twin?
about. Yeah,
There you go.
exactly.
Done.
Roger and Dodger. You know, we still don't know, and I've yet to see the other devil.
Yeah, I think that's who I'm most curious about, is the other devil, and who is. Are they sharing the job equally, or is one kind of the leader and the other the follower? So lots to think about with that. I want to jump back into the sorority, though, and talk about this co-presidency. Did you ever think they were actually going to be co-presidents? I knew that was going to last. If they tried it, it was going to last a minute. Like, it couldn't go forever.
No, I didn't. I think Chanel was playing that game really smart. I mean, she's a bitch, but she's playing it smart.
Yeah.
Come on.
No, it's true. She is a genius, but uses her powers for evil.
Oh, yeah, she's such a good evil genius. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy to think about that she, like, how much control she has over these girls. And the fact that she couldn't actually win even without her vote, like, you would assume because she put so much power over them. And I know there was a whole thing about kind of taking over and having another leader, but still you would expect her to still get the majority. At least I kind of thought she might.
Because all the Chanels look up to her.
Yeah.
And they're all brainwashed.
Yeah, and well, and you're starting to get into like Chanel number 5, and you're like, well, this is a lot for a sorority to have. 5 of
Girls
these
with the same name.
Right, exactly. And I always have to double check that I'm talking about the right Chanel. It's a whole process before I walk in this room. But so she kind of, I would say graciously, but it's kind of awful, also gives up her presidency to Zayday, and but it's like she doesn't want to be killed. That's really her reason. It's not that she thinks she'll do a better job or that they need new leadership. It's like, well, under this attack, let Zayday go first. And that's a pretty awful reason to give up your leadership role.
I love it, though. I just love how mean she is, and she doesn't care about anybody. Take no prisoners.
She's
That's
honest.
her perspective. Yeah.
And that's one thing that I think I can always respect is honesty.
No, I mean, she's honest to a point of no return, if you will. Like, it's so honest that you're like, I don't know how these girls, like,
Stay there.
Stay there, exactly. I would have moved out the first week of school. I would have been like, oh, this has been great.
They're all starving. I mean, they eat no real food and eat like styrofoam and stuff.
Yeah,
so they're probably, there's some like mental decline, I feel like, going on, and they're so hungry so they can't think straight. So, she's brainwashing them.
I loved when Chad came over and he opens the refrigerator and he's like, there's nothing but
wine coolers.
Wine coolers. And they were like, yeah, there's, are not allowed to have real food here. And I was just like, oh, what a sorority.
And their fake meal and stuff. It was so hook, That's all I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Like, food fight.
Yeah. Oh, I loved kind of going into that. The girls' sleepover. Like, it was such a cliche girls' sleepover. It kind of made me remember Mean Girls, and just like it had this whole vibe of like that classic teen comedy.
Yeah. I thought they were going to definitely play up some joke about like having a pillow fight in their underwear.
Yeah,
or something.
exactly. Because once the guys came over, that felt like the guys should at least make a comment about that.
Right, or the guys do that.
Yeah. How great would it be to have the guys in their boxers like doing the pillow fight? And it's such a Ryan Murphy move to do that too. I don't know. I feel like to like twist the idea on its head. It's like what American Horror Story and Glee and all these shows do. So
that's true.
Yeah, and they call it out as a joke, right?
Yeah.
Real clear. They say what they're making fun of.
Yeah. If there's one thing you can say about Ryan Murphy shows, they're very self-aware. Like, at least Glee, Scream Queens, they're very aware of what you're thinking as an audience member, and they bring it to the surface in the show.
Oh, yeah.
So let's talk about this girls' sleepover. Lots of revelations from the sleepover.
We had a lot of info. We find out Chanel number 3, we find out why she wears earmuffs,
Yes.
which I was not expecting.
So gross.
Apparently she has an ex-boyfriend who's obsessed with her ears that he threatens to cut them off.
That's amazing.
Well, and it like started as a very sexual thing, she says, you know.
Right? She's got feelings for Sam.
No, but like the ear thing, which is why it was even weirder. She's
I
like,
see.
oh, I've had very strange sexual partners and stuff like that. Like the ears. I'm like, oh, ah. You know,
Yeah.
but so funny and actually kind of coincidental that I'm wearing a Star Wars hat right now. But her mom in real life, that actress, is Carrie Fisher,
Right.
Princess Leia. And I always felt like maybe the muffs were kind of like a
That's what
Princess
we all
Leia
thought.
thing, right?
yeah.
That's what we all thought.
That's what we thought, too. We thought it was...
Nope, they're just protecting her little ears.
yeah. So creepy to think
Or
about.
could there be like a microphone in it talking to... They're like secret walkie-talkies talking to the red people.
Yeah, you never know. I mean, it's one of those things where I always wonder what the main purpose is of that. Like, because we talked about it, I think, in the pilot.
Right.
Like, why she had the... I kind of liked it being a nod, though, to, like, Star Wars. I
Yeah.
thought that was, like...
It could still even be a
Yeah.
little bit.
Definitely. I agree with you on
I
that.
believe that.
Yeah. So what do we think? Oh, before we go into all this relationship revelation, let's talk a little bit. We, of course, do all our programming here for free at AfterBuzz, which is great, but we do have a message from one of our sponsors, and we've talked about this before, how great Crazy Ex-Girlfriend is on the CW on Monday nights. I am obsessed with the show. It is like a musical. It's everything that I love. I used to do Glee here at AfterBuzz, and it's about a girl who leaves her dream job in New York to follow a man and kind of ends up in California, and what happens to her, and it's about her journey, and I just really think it's such a fun show. And it's from the writer of The Devil Wears Prada, so if you're a big fan of that type of movie and 500 Days of Summer, it's the director of 500 Days of Summer, I should say. I just am obsessed. Rachel Bloom, in my mind, can do no wrong, and this one's certainly a testament to that. So definitely check it out. It's on Monday nights on the CW at 8 p.m., so something never to miss.
More shows to add to the list, huh?
Exactly. I feel like there's so many good fall new TV shows, and definitely Scream Queens is one of them, so we'll jump back into that. So Chanel number 3 has a big revelation. She's like, I guess she starts out by saying she's kind of exploring her sexuality as they're playing Spin the Bottle.
Right.
And then she wants it to land on Sam so badly that she comes up with a new rule and like spins.
Yeah, respin.
Yes, exactly. And I don't even know how that happened. I feel like when you spin the bottle, it never goes to like the person
that you want.
Yeah, that's just a side note, but I personally, yeah.
From your experience, I see that.
From my experience as a 12-year-old, I would say that's unusual.
I know, man. You got to really practice spins.
Exactly. So what do you think about that happening, and then she has this big kind of kiss with Sam, and you know there's more to that than just like a peck.
For sure. I mean, I thought it was so ridiculous, the whole Charles Manson thing coming up. She's like, oh, but we can't like do anything else, and you can't fall for me because you're just destined to die, and like all these terrible things happen. So it's just so dramatic.
Yeah, I mean, she was curious and she just went for it. She was like, I'm going to figure this out right now. And she came up with a good idea to do it.
Eye on the prize, going for it.
It was like the sleepover felt very heightened because they were all locked in that house.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the panic room
house.
Yeah. I love Panic House. It's amazing. Yeah, it was just like, oh, all right, it's interesting for sure. So I guess with that, what did you think of Sam? Sam seemed like she was into it for a bit, and then she...
Well, I think she's liked her for a very long time.
Yeah.
She's liked number 3 for a very long time. I think she was just waiting for her to kind of figure it out.
Oh, yeah. She's been laying it on real thick all series.
Yeah. And then they end up playing Truth or Dare, and Well, I guess we all know what happened then.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, she ratted her out about the Charles Manson thing, and then retaliation, go to the bathtub.
And before that, they the candle blogger and Chad had an argument about whether to lie or not. And it's funny because before that had happened, I was thinking, well, I would lie.
Yeah.
If truth or dare, I would pick truth and then I would lie. That's exactly what I would have done.
Jeez, nobody blamed truth or dare in you.
I'm serious. If I were the killer, I would have done exactly what she said.
Right.
Yeah. No, it's true. I think like you want to protect her in some way. I don't know. It's hard.
I mean, well, she had no shame because she turned her back on her real quick.
Yeah. It's true.
So did she deserve to die? Did she? I don't know. I mean, she was sent to lay in the tub, which was nasty. First of all, that thing should be cleaned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm bummed because I feel like she, as ridiculous as Sam was, I feel like she was one of the more real characters, too. You know, the less like caricature type characters. So I'm going to miss having her around.
But I couldn't figure out as a character, like, what kind of she was bringing to the table.
Yeah. No, I agree with that.
We didn't really get to see much of a backstory of her.
Before we continue talking about this, I have a note from our producer. Lauren, if you don't mind just lifting your hat a little
Can you not
bit.
see my eyeballs?
Yes. So if we want to go ahead
There
and
we
do
go. Oh, okay. Wardrobe changing. There
Yeah,
we go.
exactly.
Sorry, everyone.
Sorry,
I have
everyone.
eyes.
Hopefully
I do have
everyone
eyes.
can now see you, and it's great. I love being able to see your eyes. I'm sure everyone else does as well. So thank you to our producer for mentioning that. But let's jump back into this. And sorry, guys, that was a side note that was like,
Sorry.
no,
My bad.
Get it together.
Sam, I don't think of her as like a bad character.
No.
Or like I think that they're trying to not have their major characters die, just in terms of like they don't want Emma Roberts or like a Leah Michele to go yet, so they have to kind of get rid of these smaller characters in order to have 3 deaths an episode. Logistically, you
That's
have
true.
to kind of get rid of these smaller, maybe I don't want to call them less important because I don't know much about Sam yet.
Right.
So I don't maybe she has a very important story that we'll never know, but in course of this I felt like not that crucial.
Right. Yeah. You weed off the more outlying characters, and sometimes a big one. But
Yeah, and when the Red Devil had taken off the mask, I was hoping I'd find like some like mishap in the filming or the camera or the angle or something that would kind of like be in the corner of the screen, and I was like, no.
But I mean, we do get a hint because Sam is. She says, "Oh, I knew it was you." So
But
it's
who are her
somebody.
suspects?
Well, it's somebody we know we've seen. Because they wouldn't say that if it was like a brand new character. You know, you wouldn't write that into the script that way if the audience has no idea who the person could be.
Yeah.
So if she knows who it is, we know we've seen them too.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah, I still think it's it's either the dean or I feel like one of the girls in
He's
the
really
house.
tall though. If I'm looking at the physicality, he's really tall. And I thought it was going to say he was a man, but he wears a shield. A chest shield.
Who knows?
I don't know. I feel like this is one of those things where every week I'm going to come in with a different opinion. But
It's hard. It's hard though.
for this week, I'm going with either the dean or I agree. Definitely a girl. And it has to be someone who has access to one of those tunnels. They're assuming that they're getting in through the
Gigi, I feel like, is the ringleader between all of this. She's the boss.
Yes. Yeah,
She's the one
I
that
agree.
says, go kill this person, go kill that person, don't do this, don't do that. She obviously had the baby. She raised the baby as her own, which I was right.
Yeah.
I had said that before in previous episodes. So we see more of her in the preview for next week, but I mean, she's obviously the ringleader. I want to see more of Nick Jonas's character. I want to know what he's up to.
So
I know. He's up to killing everybody. That's what he's up to.
So you think Nick Jonas in 100%?
Oh, I mean, like, I don't want to say 100% of my
70?
Sure. Like 90.
Okay. See, I was on IMDb this week and noticed that he is in 9 episodes out of the 13 that they've filmed.
Okay.
And so we haven't seen him in the last few. So it means that coming up, he
He's
has
probably
to
going to
be
be finishing up the season.
Yeah, like in this. Yeah, I would assume that it would have to be the next bunch he's in, right? So I'm hoping for more Nick Jonas. Bottom line.
We really get our research done here at AfterBuzz, just saying.
Yeah. And he's on Ellen tomorrow, so maybe he'll talk about that as well.
Oh.
Yeah.
He's got a lot going on these
Yeah.
days, so it may not,
It's-
because sometimes when that sort of thing happens, they're making appearances and doing PR stuff. It's because they're gonna be in for the long haul for a show or become there's some big reveal. But he's got so much going on outside of Scream Queens that it's for everything.
Yeah, you have no idea what the appearance is actually promoting, but he's got album, another TV show, and Scream Queens, so he's a busy guy. But I hope for him to come back to Scream Queens because I feel like the way they left it, that can't be.
No.
Right, because we know
it's
he's
not.
alive, and so we know, and he's such a big actor, especially with regard to the rest of the cast, that we know he's got to come back.
Yeah.
What about Chanel number 6? She freaks me out every episode that we see. Like, I don't know if she has anything to do with the murders, which I don't think she does, but she's on a mission to take everything away from Chanel. I mean, we saw her with Chad in that kitchen scene.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So Chanel number 6, Hester, and Chanel number 5. I'm suspicious of those two Chanels because they're both just so kind of messed up. I mean, all the characters are pretty messed up, but those two are the ones I've got my eye on the most.
See, I don't necessarily think they're like the Red Devil team as much as I think that they're going to become like a power pair together and try to take down Chanel. And we're seeing bits of that with her flirting it up with Chad tonight. But he was kind of not into anybody tonight. He was not
so funny.
Yeah, really not into Chanel number 1. Every time she would suggest, like, come save me. I'll love you forever.
Love
well, if you say you won't love me forever, I'll come save
He's like,
you.
easy girl.
Hey, but then
He's
we
like,
see-
say it, and
Oh,
she's
yeah.
like, I will like you for a time that you deem is appropriate.
Yeah.
Which is one of my favorite quotes, but I mean, we see that they end up together, and he does agree to a monogamous relationship.
I know,
Yeah.
Which,
recommitting.
bravo.
Yeah.
How about that?
As
He's like,
he
because
should,
you're so
as he
rich.
should.
I don't know why. I'm not normally this person. I'm normally totally an optimist and a romantic. I was just like, how long is this gonna last? Like, I just felt like he was gonna turn around in the next scene and make out with somebody else. Like,
Right.
I want to believe that he's gonna be monogamous, but I just feel like he's proven.
Oh, dude, I love them together. I think they're hilarious.
They're a match
no.
made in
and
heaven.
and their chemistry as actors is so funny because they're constantly trying to one up each other with how ridiculous they are, and they're so manipulative, and their characters are just kind of monsters in and of themselves. So it's so fun to see that their scenes together, and I love that they're going to be together at least for a little while.
I love it. Like, I want to see them together, but I just felt like realistically we were gonna be like, I'll be with you forever, and then cut to the next scene. And
for sure. I totally could see something like that happening next week.
Yeah, I just feel like they're in for a rocky road. Like, I hope that they make it out okay because I think they're hilarious together, but I don't.
Really, I think the opposite. I think they're so honest with each other that it's not really going to be an issue.
But don't you think at some point her jealous side is gonna take over?
Well, he's so honest about sleeping with other girls that if he felt he couldn't do it, he wouldn't have committed to her and made the pinky pledge.
I like that. I like the.
Pinky
I like
promise.
that. So optimistic. That's great. I feel like that's normally who I am on our panels, but tonight I was just like, no, this feels weird. But we also saw Zayday. I'm with the Red Devil in the basement, and I don't know what to think about that.
Okay, so this is where I'm coming from.
All right, I'm so glad you have
So,
an opinion
let's
on
hear
this.
it.
The Red Devil, when he first kidnapped her, didn't kill her, didn't hurt her, dressed her up nicely, made her dinner.
Yeah, did a little
This
Silence of the
one
Lambs
was
situation.
trying to kill her.
Yes.
Unless he was just going easy and just trying to scare her.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, what if the other devil, that was him trying to kill her? You see what I'm saying? So the Red Devil that's in love with her, that wasn't him. You
Okay,
know how
so-
there's two?
Right.
Otherwise, it wouldn't make any sense.
That makes me kind of question, do you think there's a good and evil?
No, I think there's one that's just in love with her, and then one that
her.
just doesn't care.
Yeah,
Okay,
and
so-
one that maybe isn't following the rules, like Gigi's
Right.
directions, and kind of going off script, if you will.
I mean, she's got some ninja skills that she was ducking, kicking, rolling, and all that stuff. I mean, I don't know. I think it's either a scare tactic or it just was the devil that is not in love with her. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I like this theory.
totally. That makes sense to me.
I mean, it was nice to see Chanel save her, though.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
surprised by that.
She's
Go
got a little
back.
heart.
Yeah.
She's got a little bit of soul.
And she says, "Oh, I went back to save you because I need numbers high because then my chances are better of surviving if there's more other people to kill off."
And if that's the reason someone's gonna save my life, I really don't care. You
she's
saved my life.
All right.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like, I do love when we see these characters who seem hard as nails, kind of show a softer side or a little bit of that they have some heart. There's something there. That's like some of my favorite moments in Scream Queens. Before we talk about the 3 deaths tonight, which we have saved till the very end, I also want to tell you about our sister network, Black Hollywood Live, which is a great network. Of course, it is focused on African American entertainment news, and there's really something for everyone. There's 12 shows ranging from sports, fashion, entertainment, comedy, politics, literally anything that you could be into. They've got it covered over there, and they do a phenomenal job. I love the team, so it's definitely something to check out. You can go to blackhollywoodlive.com for more information about that. So something to not miss. So let's talk about these deaths. We started out with the boy with no arms.
That one was bound to happen.
I love it though, because poor guy gets his arms chopped off, and now he has to climb a ladder with no arms, which is probably really hard to do for one.
Impossible?
I bet you could. Like,
I would think that he
do
would have
it
been the first
a
one
little
up the ladder.
balance a lot, so
So
that
that
you
he
can
can be
it.
pushed up.
Where were his brothers to help him? I just didn't understand.
I know they're like, "Oh, see ya."
Yeah, they were like, "I will just watch you die. Like that, we'll pay him
The
respect."
dignity of watching him
Yeah,
die.
I'm just like, ooh, that's not the way that fraternities are supposed to work.
But from their characters, they've got no heart. So I
Right.
really
Oh, yeah,
expected that,
sure.
especially
Yeah.
from Chad.
yeah,
Yeah, and I mean, hello, if that guy survives, you're still like have a guy with no arms that he's not going to help fight off the Red Devil if he's coming after you.
No.
What's he going to kick him in the shin? Like, no. So yeah, sorry, cut him off.
yeah. That was sad. It made me sad because I just wanted like Chad or someone to help him. It doesn't have to be Chad, but one of them to help. No,
So funny.
And then we talked a little bit about Sam's
Sam,
death
yeah.
already, but I just feel like we just got the start of her storyline. We're only in episode 6. Like, there still was so much more that I kind of wanted from that character, but
Maybe we'll see more
Yeah,
later.
that's the thing. We don't always know that someone's completely dead unless we literally see their head get chopped off.
yeah.
It grosses me out. I can't do blood. Every time something like that happens, I'm like, okay. And then I hear the noise, and I don't know which is worse.
Yeah.
The noise or the sight, but I mean, I can only imagine what happens. So.
No, I mean, that's one of those things where I'll take my notes at that moment. I'll be like, I know what's happening. It's fine. Like, I got it. So, very gory. I feel like hers was like particularly, I felt like kind of gross and gory.
I read an article just real quick with the actor who plays Caulfield. His name is Evan Paley, and he was saying, what was his reaction to finding out that he was getting killed off? And he's like, oh, I read the script and I laughed hysterically. Like, it's so funny, and, that there's so much craziness and confusion going on with the show, but it's still so funny. And even if you're an actor reading it and you're like, oh, I am not going to be working next week or whatever, after this, it's still so fun. So you don't care as much if you're dying because you have so much fun doing it. But he also later in this interview, and I'll tweet it out later, but later in the interview he says he can't confirm or deny if this is the last we'll see him.
Of course, everybody says
I know,
that.
I have to say that too. And he also, which some people in the chat roll have been commenting about, he also alludes to the fact that he doesn't know what the ending is either, or who the killers are either, because they've
think a
filmed
lot of them
several
don't, yeah.
endings to keep everyone on their toes so no spoilers leak out, or if spoilers do leak out, they may be conflicting sort of thing. So, so we shall see.
I feel like he could also come back in like a flashback situation.
Right. Oh, that's always a sneaky way of being like, you might see me again, in a dream or as a vision.
Yeah. I mean, it wouldn't be the first time, let's be. I feel like shows that's a lot of times. So we loved this actor, we missed them, so we'll bring them back, in a flashback. And then finally, Roger.
Can you tell me why he wasn't bleeding? He had nail, no blood. No blood. I had a problem with that. I was like, why isn't he bleeding?
Oh, that one, I'm pretty good with gore and stuff like that, but that one I was like, oh, okay.
But there was no
enough.
gore.
But even just seeing all the nails going into his head. But you're right. I didn't even think about that.
I don't know enough about nails going into someone's head to know.
If you're getting cut or stabbed with a knife or something in your face, there's blood.
Right.
I mean,
but, like,
yes.
if you're getting nail gunned in the head.
A little bit, like a little bit of drops. I mean, I've never nailed
think
anybody in
some
the
would
face
happen.
before
Yeah.
or seen it in real life, but I mean, I would think that there would be blood.
I've always wondered, though, if you didn't have any weapons around you, but you were at a construction zone and you picked up a nail gun, like, would it actually work to defend you?
heck
Because
yeah.
I've seen it in so many movies.
Criminal
People
Minds.
use them.
Criminal
Yeah.
Minds, they bleed.
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
That's real life science for you. I'm right there with you.
I was about to compare it to a Grey's Anatomy episode that they had nails in the head in a Grey's Anatomy episode. So, guys, we're really on our science.
It probably is a good solution if
Yeah.
you need to shoot someone.
Yeah, I don't know. The person on Grey's Anatomy survived.
Oh, yeah. And
So-
some. What says it was an homage to Pinhead from Hellraiser, for sure. When he's
I've
on the
never
ground,
seen that
totally was
movie.
exactly what that was.
I need to catch up on some horror movie.
Halloween.
I know.
They're all going to be on TV.
I know. So if you have a good suggestion, anyone, let me know. Tweet us.
Yes.
Are your suggestions for your good horror movies that we need to catch up on, especially if they relate to Scream Queens? I'm in. That being said, I think we covered this episode pretty well. Is there anything we are missing before we
what
jump into
else?
predictions?
No,
I think we're good. Let's jump into some predictions.
Yes.
waiting for the music.
Oh.
No, just act as if it's on.
All right, let's get into
Okay.
it. We see more of Gigi, which is what I've been wanting to see. We see her in the rocking chair in that room, and then we see her talking to the Red Devil, and finally we see her giving orders.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, saying we're not kidnappers, we're killers.
We.
So we know there's a group, obviously, but maybe that's referring to the one who kidnapped Zayday instead of killing her and didn't do anything bad to her. And so she's like scolding that person. And it's like, bro, you messed up. You can't like kidnap your girlfriend and like make her do weird stuff, Silence of the Lambs stuff. And then, we're killing them off.
Yeah, I'm excited to see Gigi's relationship with Wes. With Wes. I just totally blanked on his name. With Wes, I was gonna say Grace's dad, and see where that goes, because I feel like it's gonna end up in an explosion.
I don't think they're going to end up together at all.
No, I absolutely agree. Like, it's going to explode in their face once he figures out her involvement in all of this. It's done.
Yeah, but do we think they're gonna figure that out soon? Because they had like, a little salad date, which is a pretty casual, not as far as dinner, but then like, a little makeout sesh.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it could go that way. I don't know if it'll be by the end of this season. I'm interested to see kind of where it all ends this season. I know that's something that we've had fans tweet at us as well, is that where is this going to take us? Will we know the killer by the end of the season? And I hope so.
Ooh, I bet
better.
we'll know at least one
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, definitely seeing more of like the operations behind the Red Devils with what we see from Gigi. We know that Dean gets arrested. We see that. And the girls plot to kill Chanel. And then that clearly doesn't work because someone else ends up in a coffin. And Chanel's like, oh, that's what you get for trying to do revenge, biatch.
Wow.
It's definitely Chanel. The way that is that what you?
Which one? No.
I know, right? Which one? Well, the coffin's really nice and pink, and I don't know.
So it's one of the Chanels? Is that your...
I think so.
Okay.
I think so. And that, but then
one?
again, none of the Chanels had funerals, so
Yeah. Who is
maybe
this one that
maybe
gets a
not.
funeral?
But did you guys not see Ariana Grande? Her character
Yes,
came back.
but-
She pushes Chanel down the stairs, and then we see
that what
her
that was?
have some
Okay.
Then we see her have some little attitude. I don't know if that's a flashback.
Right. That's what I felt like. It looked very similar to the scene when she dies.
Right, but then
Like what she's wearing and the setting. It was so quick that I don't know if I saw that wrong or if it's something new.
I don't know. Then I'm trying to figure out how would she come back, because we saw Nick Jonas's character come back. So how would she come back?
Oh, people,
she were, like,
people
alive.
think number 2 is in the coffin.
Ooh. Yeah, I'm excited to see Ariana come back. We want Nick Jonas back. Of course, we want more Gigi. And then I hear Patrick Schwarzenegger is going to be on the show as well. So
Really?
I'm excited
Oh.
to see what happens with him. I don't know if it'll be next week, but in the coming episodes, we will see some Patrick. So that'll be interesting to see as well. But thank you so much for watching and hanging out with us. And thank you, Lauren, for coming in and guesting with us this week.
Let me give a little shout out to some of our peeps in the chat roll.
Absolutely.
Jorge, Zombie Blonde, It's Really, Devonte Green, Vanesh, Liliana, what? I'm just going through. P.A. Juarez. Who else? And Devaney. Let me see. Anyone else I missed? Bailey, Absent TV Pro. I may have missed somebody, but I've been loving seeing all of your guys' comments in there and
Keep them
theories and
coming.
everything. So keep them coming. Thanks for talking with us all episode.
Yeah, it's so much fun. And we will be back next week with more Scream Queens. You can find us in the meantime on all social media at AfterBuzz, and you can find me at Stephanie Wenger.
You guys can find me on Twitter at _Paulina Aguilar and on Instagram at Paulina M. Aguilar.
And you guys can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, YouTube, everywhere at Lauren Salaun. That's LAUREN SALAUN.
See you next week. Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.